This is a week that we're probably going to see a lot of volatility. And it's a question of, do we get something very similar to what we've had the weeks prior, or is this something different? I will say we did a great job this weekend. Sometimes you just need the weekend to cool things down. And lo and behold, that printed a green candle day yesterday for ADA, green candle day yet again. The market's looking a little poppy this morning. And we have, in fact, gotten into some of these short leverage liquidations. And I do want to talk about that as well as a few things that have flipped bullish here. But I also want to let everybody know some of these events taking place this week that could cause a bit of a stir in the market. So again, if you guys haven't already, show your support down for the channel down below. It's been growing like crazy, and it's all because of you guys. So ADA right now at the time of filming this video, it's about 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's about 64.20 in terms of price. We are above that longer term trend. Great bounce here. And we're looking like we're seeing a pivot across the crypto space. And we're seeing something very similar to what we've seen a lot of these weeks in the past here. All right. Basically over the last month, if you guys haven't noticed, we've had kind of these early week rallies, late week drop offs, early week rally, late week drop, early week rally, and so on and so forth. Almost every single time, rinse and repeat. And so it's a question of, do we do something similar to that? I think that's the mid case scenario where we have this early week rally, and then once again, PTSD sets in, some negative news, late week drop off, or we could in fact have something that just continues to rally the market. And I want to show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Now, what I will say is that BTC actually this morning breached 107. So that is a good sign. That's a price that we have not seen since all the way back on Thursday. Now, we did also breach our 20-day moving average. That's a great sign here. All right. We are starting to see a lot of momentum shift around the market. In fact, daily stochastic RSI for BTC, bullish cross. For ADA, bullish cross. On the RSI, bullish cross. So we're starting to see a lot of things just shift that momentum just right, like we've seen in weeks prior. And it's a question of, is it something that's going to continue? Now, I will say that there are events happening this week that can cause some of this volatility to take place in the crypto market. First of all, we are going to be talking probably all week about the Israel-Iran war tensions. They are high right now. And the biggest thing that we need to pay attention to is surprises. We don't like surprises, right? Market does not like surprises. But the good news is it seems like the market has calmed down in a pretty big way to what's going on over there. So we'll have to see how the market digests that. But on Tuesday, we have the Bank of Japan rate decision. Wednesday, the Fed decision here in the U.S., which right now the likelihood of an interest rate decrease is almost 0%. We have to wait and listen to Jerome Powell's sentiment following that. Is he going to hint at something coming in the very near term? Thursday, Bank of England rate decision. So just like Crypto Rover said, expect volatility, and the market has set us up for volatility. Guys, we have started getting into some of these short leverage liquidations. There's been this, again, huge compression of long and short interest around the crypto market. And sometimes you can get into these zones and just go on a little bit of a rip. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but it's all going to be based on sentiment, right? Sentiment is the big driving force right now. And if we get enough sentiment that is positive, you could see us start to break out just a little bit. Now, what I will say is that we obviously did not have institutional money on the weekend, so we don't know what their plan is going to be. However, they have been buying very heavily as of late. It would not surprise me if this week they are doing a lot of heavy buying once again. So then once again, we need to look at this chart. Again, this is the global M2 liquidity chart. And what we're seeing is, on that 78-day offset, which we've been tracking very closely, we're right at that point where we could see a pretty big pop. This actually shows that BTC running all the way up to about 122. Not saying that's happening for sure. That shows by, what is that? Is that Thursday, Friday this week? Could you guys imagine if BTC ran from 106, 107 right now up to 122 this week? That would be absolutely insane. And I think that we would see a lot of changes for altcoins in the crypto market. Obviously, right now we're still sitting with USDT dominance at about 4.73%, teetering on the brink of another breakdown there, which is great. BTC dominance starting to show some red here again, trying to target one of those drops like we've seen the prior several weeks. ETH BTC on the verge of breaking out. I mean, the setup is perfect. That's what you need to know. Setup is perfect. It's a question of will it, won't it? A lot of times lately, again, we've just had enough to shake out retail, enough to cause some questions in the crypto market, and enough to hold back any just big push throughout the space. But understand that there will be a point that changes. This week could be it. Not saying it's going to be for sure, but these are the things that we need to watch for, right? any hints at monetary policy changes could be a very big deal for the market. And we know that obviously last time ECB cut rates, we saw a nice rally in the market. Cuts in China, rally in the market. So just some things to pay attention to throughout this week. So we'll see if we can muster up any sort of momentum off of this current pump that we're on. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think we're going to get as the week progresses? Do we see some more green? Can ADA once again break past this 70-cent resistance and start to take us to some higher prices? So appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.